You're imbalanced wounded.
Huh? What is Scruffy looking for stuff? It calls to you.
All right. So, hey, everyone. Welcome back. Like I said last time, we're a brand new podcast. We represent 3 different countries. First to my north, we've got Taylor from Canada.
What's up, guys?
All the way across the pond from the UK, we got Big Jack.
Hi there.
And, of course, I'm Jimmy, coming to you from the heartland, Kansas. Woohoo! Exciting place. Just like I said last time, we're just getting started. This is going to be our first full episode. We'll sit back, relax. As you can expect from our name, we're going to start covering all things Star Wars. We've got a couple of good topics for you guys today. So let's just go ahead and dive into it, and let's go ahead and explore the Force.
So, guys, how are you guys this week?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you very much. Been busy at work. Just had a few days off. Managed to catch some visions. Played a little bit of time on Survivor. Picked up a few books. Haven't read anything yet. What about you, Jimmy?
I have had the craziest week. 2 swim meets this week. School's winding down. Kids are getting crazy because they haven't done anything all week or all season, school year to, help them pass my class. Now they're like, what can I do? Nothing. You can't do anything. But yeah, so it's been a long week. I'm excited to relax and talk some Star Wars with you guys.
Brilliant. So just before we kick off, we're just going to give a big shout out to Matt Hudson and Luke Bly over at the Star Wars Sessions crew. Because again, without those guys, 1, we wouldn't have met. And 2, pretty much they inspired us to do what we're doing now. So let's go over to the news then. So, Smuggler's Dream of Collectibles and Toys released on May the 4th. We've got some stuff from Sideshow's Collectibles, from the Clone Commander to Darth Sidious being released. There's a bunch of Funko collectors as well being released from Obi-Wan series, and also the Clone Wars specials, which I'm very keen for, and also some Battlefront 2 ones. I've also noticed as well that there's a glow-in-the-dark Darth Maul on the way. Also, there's some limited edition Black Series, vintage, and retro collections coming out. Again, they're not to be missed.
Yes, I've pre-ordered my Obi-Wan Kenobi and his Starfighter.
You already got it on the go. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, we got going on Return of the Jedi. Obviously, released again last week. It continues to smash it in the box office. Last time we checked, it's about $7 million profit. So Lucasfilm is doing okay. No one worry about Lucasfilm; they're doing okay.
And they're giving out those awesome posters as well.
Yeah.
I did not get one. Anyway, it's a whole other story. I'm going to turn to the dark side if I don't get one someday. So.
Kevin Scott's highly anticipated novel, Path of Vengeance, has also been released last week, alongside news that 3 new Essential Legends collections are now coming. And finally, Carrie Fisher, our princess, finally has her own star revealed with her daughter and close friend Mark Hamill, alongside with her other friends there on the Walk of Fame.
Brilliant. And there's a couple of events coming up in the UK. One I'm going to be attending. So this Sunday, we've got the Star Wars Fan Fun Day up at Blackburn Football Club. Tickets are now going to be stopped selling online. So you can only get them at the door, I think, for £15 for adults. There's loads of special guests there from the puppeteer for Jabba the Hutt as well. There's autographs there, photos, there's props being made, and there's absolutely loads, much more to do there. There's also going to be a couple of the UKG members there, again, dressed up as your favourite characters. And then also on the same weekend, Saturday and the Sunday, Nerd Base. They're doing a big Star Wars weekend with prizes being given away, a raffle, and again, more special guests.
Yeah, if you guys get the chance, go check out Nerd Base. I know it sounds weird, a guy from America, Kansas, saying go to Nerd Base, which is in Battle Bridge, I believe is the town it's called, which is awesome. One of the highlights of my first trip out there. This place is phenomenal. If you guys get a chance and you live in that area, even if you don't live in that area, hop on a train and get your butt to Nerd Base. You will not be disappointed. So this kind of leads us right into our next segment. You guys will have lots of Force encounters if you go to any of those events, which they sound great. And I don't understand why you guys have so much going on in Star Wars all the time. I feel like I don't have anything here, but it is probably because I live in a big cornfield. So we're going to start and have what we're going to call Force encounters. And basically, if we had anything, Star Wars related going on in our week. So mine would be going to see Return of the Jedi. I took my wife and I took a good friend of mine. Unlike you guys, I was alive and old enough to go see it in the theater, like I talked about last week.
Like a champ.
Went with my dad. And going back and seeing it again, I didn't really think, I'm not a super emotional person, but man, it got me in the feel, seeing it again on the big screen, getting to share it with my wife and my buddy Danny. And then I got out, of course, thinking about my dad the whole time on the way home. And I don't have any kids, but sometimes when I do events like that or go see a movie like that, it makes me wish I had someone to share it with. So that's kind of my Force encounter. I'm not having any kids. Don't worry about that. I'm almost 50. But yeah, that was really, it kind of hit me in the feels. So I'm sure people my age are all probably having the same experience.
Jimmy.
How about you, Taylor?
Well, actually, do you mind me asking, is your dad still around?
He is still around. Yeah, they all live in Pennsylvania, so I don't get to talk to him a ton.
Far away.
Or see him a ton. Yeah, I mean, it's like a 20-hour drive that we'll make this summer. But,
oh, God.
So, yeah.
No thanks.
But, yeah.
Yeah, my Force encounter this week. So this week I started a new job. I now work at the Greater Vancouver Zoo in Langley, BC, British Columbia. So I'm being trained for operations, so kind of behind the scenes of the zoo. But as I'm getting the training, I have to learn everything up front and kind of everything about the zoo. So yesterday I learned that our baby alpaca, who is white, he was born in December during a snowstorm, and his name is Tauntaun.
Nice.
Very nice.
And he is so cute. Oh my goodness. So I was thinking of making the internal temperature of a Tauntaun joke on the train ride, because I am doing the train ride and the illustrations, but I was told it is inappropriate. As well as, this is the fastest train in the galaxy. Do not say that to a train full of moms.
Yeah. Next week, we'll find out where Taylor's working next week after she's fired from all of her inappropriate jokes.
Hey, if you are local to Langley, British Columbia, and you want to come stop by at the zoo, I'm the only blue-haired person running around probably the first chunk of the zoo, so you can't miss me.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Jack, you got anything for us this week? You sound like you
really,
did.
to be honest, because I've been that busy with work. I think the closest thing I've come to the Force encounters with myself is going through like the automatic doors and putting my hand up like that in front of the doors. That's as close as I've come this week.
That's always a classic. All right. Well, sounds like everyone's had a good week, busy week. I need to get up to Vancouver and check out this crazy train driver. But I thought we'd start off today's topics. The newest thing I think from LucasFilm is Visions Season 2.
Oh, yeah.
And so I thought maybe we just kind of talk about, we can go through the episodes and we can talk a little bit afterwards. But the very first episode that we had was called Sith. And I tell you what, they just like season 1 for me, that started out, just pulled me right in. I think the Jedi or the Sith's name is Lola, and her lovable droid E2. Just a couple notes for me. E2's integration into all of her equipment and just like being like a little puppy dog. I don't know how they keep doing this, even with like B2 Emo on Andor, how they make these droids that don't really, I don't know, they just make them so lovable. And so like almost puppy dog-ish. We're going to have to do an episode on our favorite
100%,
droids eventually.
100%.
And then, diving into that episode, the animation style kind of reminded me of Into the Spider-Verse. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. I consider that probably one of the best Spider-Man movies. I'm excited for the sequel to come out. And then, I don't know if you guys... I Am No Sith. Did you guys get the correlation from that to I Am No Jedi from Ahsoka?
Yeah.
I thought that was really... I didn't catch it the first time I watched it, and I was like, whoa, like, just kind of blew me away. Just absolutely love this episode.
Yeah.
So, you guys.
When I went to watch this one, I read the title and it said Sith. So I don't know, I expected it to be this like big battle or like back in the Knights of the Old Republic or something like that, because really we kind of already know a lot of the Sith already, right? Like how many Sith are there actually if there's only ever two at one time since the war of whatever? But watching it and seeing that she just wants to be an artist, and she's just living, she's finding peace and balance in herself, which was crazy. And at the first bit, you're just super confused. Like, what is going on here? What's with all the white? Doesn't look anything like any Star Wars we've ever watched before. Which is like all Visions, which is awesome. But towards the end of it, are we giving spoilers here? We're doing spoilers, right?
Sure. We can throw up a spoiler warning, I guess.
Spoiler warning. Towards the end, she realizes that her paintings and her art that she's trying to do, the black keeps trying to incorporate itself when all she wants to do is this beautiful bright color. But I think because she's realized that the darkness is part, she has been a Sith, and now she's finding balance. And it's almost like she's coming from this other point of view, and it's not like the Jedi who are saying, well, we're balanced, but we're only good guys. We're only light, right? So she doesn't want to be a Sith who's only dark, so she finds that her strength and her power comes from the balance in between. And that's what helps her beat her old master. And highlight for me is when that droid blasts that guy's head right off.
That was hilarious.
Howling is great.
Yeah, same for me. The droid for me made the episode. I weren't too keen at the start of it. I was the same as you. I was wondering what is going on with all these colours. But the integration of the droid in the vehicle with the cannon, and like Jimmy said, whoever's producing these droids, geez, like, yeah, it's already up there with one of my favourite droids. I thought the battle scene was pretty cool. The troopers were pretty cool. The jetpacks. But when they ignited the double blade, and it was both different colours, I thought, yeah, that's fantastic. Really, really, really good idea.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes. Got that part
good
too.
little reference in terms of the I Am No Jedi reference as well. Yeah, nice little Easter egg, I thought.
Yeah, exactly. And it just kind of goes back to like that balance. Like she trusts herself to use that dark blade. So,
I do
we
think,
don't know.
Continuing on with just one last final thing, I think that there is a full episode of unpacking this single, I mean, what is it, 15, 20 minutes long? I feel like they just, it's kind of like that Ronin one from season 1 where they just, there's so much you can talk about. The second episode, Screecher's Reach.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and start us off with that one?
Screecher's Reach. Essentially about another person trying to find themselves, essentially. Ends up going to a mountain. And inside the mountain, obviously, is what's causing this screech, hence the name Screecher's Reach. Again, very well put together. I was a little unsure what was going on. And then as it started to wrap up towards the end, again, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Love to see more of where it could go from that point forward. Again, just little nuggets of how desperate the Sith are, I thought, in terms of like using the vulnerability of people to bring them to the dark side. Anything they can sort of latch themselves onto and use that vulnerability to increase their numbers, I thought was pretty good. I did think as well at this point, after the second one had done, I thought it's quite Sith heavy orientated up to this point with 1 and 2. And again, a lot seems to orientate around children as well. Again, I don't know if you noticed that. So I don't know how young Lola was in the first one, but she did seem quite young.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think that's why it's in red this time? Yeah. Like, because the first year was blue, and then this one, it fades to red, has that ominous music. Because it seems like most of them have something tied to the dark side a little bit.
Yeah, quite a few of them. They're all quite dark and grimy, I thought.
Yeah, they are very dark. Animation style was pretty cool. Again, I don't know about you guys. I come from about zero background in animation or anime. I remember watching a couple when I was a kid, not really getting into it. But I am blown away by the artwork and just fascinated by how this is done. But yeah, I thought the story was pretty cool. I'm confused by who it was at the end picking her up. Was that a Jedi? Was that a Sith? Because it seemed like a kind of an odd, like Luke in the cave at Dagobah kind of test. I think she may have won, but I think she may have failed at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, and it was strong. It's kind of fun to have these different accents, and this one sounded like it was. I mean, you had to tell me Irish, Scottish, kind of up there.
Irish.
Yeah. So, but I think that's kind of cool because you'll see that later on. You have the one that's like almost from. It seems like it's from India.
Yeah.
I love all of the different cultures being pulled into Star Wars.
Cultures of Star Wars. Yeah, totally agree. Absolutely.
And I just, it goes Star Wars is for everybody, and I think that this Visions really does it well. So,
it just shows that literally any story can be made from that entire galaxy. It's massively now come away from just the Skywalker stuff. There is so much to explore and push out to everybody.
Yeah, it's incredible. Into the Stars, our third one coming out from Studio Punk Robot, which is a pretty fun name. I thought this animation was kind of cool, almost like claymation-esque. How everything was just with the wind blowing their hair and just was this the one with the gold?
Yeah, look like it came alive.
That comes in the starlights. Yeah, this one I thought was the animation. Like I'll keep saying this, but I mean every single one, the animation's so different. There's so much out there for people who want to do animation or anime. Just I didn't realize there was this many different options. For you. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good episode. Kind of family oriented again. So
quite dark again though as well, wasn't it? Very dark.
Yes, it starts out with the mom being killed by the Empire, and then
what I like
the sisters not having.
I like how it showed that the Empire came to the planet and just abused everything, poisoned the planet, used all the resources. I thought that was quite clever. But again, just showing the actual proper dark side of the Empire and how they're doing business.
Yes. This was your favorite one, right, Taylor? Into the Stars, sorry.
You know
this
what?
Is the one that you loved, I think you were saying.
I don't know why I didn't really take to the claymation, how it was kind of choppy, but everyone is different. Everyone's like allowed to have different likes and dislikes, and I'm not saying I disliked it. But being an older sister to my brother Brett, who's a fireman. Hey Brett.
All right.
He it almost annoyed me how much the younger sister just wanted to do her own thing. But obviously she's not strong enough to do it by herself. So she's kind of just making things a little bit more difficult for her older sister who's just trying to keep them alive. So that part kind of it got to my emotions and maybe it needed to. Maybe that's what it was supposed to be. But I really liked how they had the history of their people in those paintings. So every hand painting told its own story if you looked close enough, I believe. And it's connected to the planet through the plants. And I believe the mushroom kind of all that was left, because mushrooms are more of a spore. They don't need as much nutrients and stuff they just need rotten stuff really to produce. I'm a gardener, I'm crazy. So it made sense to me that all that was really left was kind of mushrooms, and they didn't really have the water anymore. But I really did like the backstory of it and how it did show that the mother was strong in the Force, unfortunately just not strong enough. But with her daughters teaming together, they were strong enough to defeat the Empire and get their planet back, and hopefully their planet can start healing again. It looked like it was, because they could see the stars again, and their belief in their family members going into the stars, into the Force, I thought was beautiful. So I like this episode for some reasons, and then other reasons annoyed me. But I think it was okay. I think getting the emotions is what it needs to do.
Taylor, do you have any background? Like we were talking a little bit. Do you have any background, or have you watched anime before? Animation?
I am not a huge anime fan. Don't hate
Yeah.
me, everybody. I had one friend in elementary school who was obsessed with anime, and she drew all these amazing photos or pictures and stuff all the time in this anime form. So I was shown it a lot, and I just did not pick it up.
Yeah.
Just,
I have a lot of students who are into it as well, and I try to push Visions 1 and 2 to make these connections with these kids
yeah.
when I see them doing the anime or see them with something on their shirt. Kind of leads us into our next one. I Am Your Mother. This is the only studio that I'd ever really heard of, this Aardman Animation, and basically because of Wallace and
Yeah.
Gromit and Chicken Run, which, and all I really had to say, I like this episode. I thought the Wookiees were hilarious looking. But I'll let you guys talk about this one. I had to mention those Wookiees. They made me laugh so hard.
I think this is one of, if not my favourite episode out of the whole season. Just stick with the Wookiees. They look fantastic. When they were getting teased in that ship and she pulls the arms off that Teddy. I thought again, nice little Easter egg or reference. The thing with the droid again, like that little droid. I thought that's a fantastic idea.
She was fighting him at one point.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And the ships as well. I loved the ships. The ships were absolutely fantastic.
They had a stinger.
Yeah.
Did you see? They had a stinger. I don't believe it's the Mantis, because that's the name of Breeze's ship, right? But I believe it's a Stinger class yacht.
Yeah.
Got super excited.
Yeah,
super
so
sad.
many different types of ships. It was unbelievable. I loved the fact that Dennis Lawson, he was in that as well as Achilles as well. Yeah, so he come back. Just everything, like you say, just vibes from Wallace and Gromit, classic. Absolutely, yeah. It was really funny. It's a classic case of kids getting embarrassed by the parents, and the parents like, right, I'm going to pull this off, because I bet Jimmy sees it all the time on if you have like a sports day and the parents involved to take place. I've been there with my daughter, and then you're like, yes, no, we are going to win this. We are going to do this. So, yeah, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was absolutely class.
Oh my gosh. I kind of have a similar experience. So first of all, this episode, I Am Your Mother, really related to me in more than just that I'm a mother. So when I was a kid, we went to this church group. There was one weekend day where it was like an Amazing Race episode. So we all had to have our parents drive us to all the different volunteer houses. And the parents were told they cannot speed. You have to go the speed limit. We have to follow all the rules, whatever. Of course, my mom drove our team like light speed from house to house. We were there. We finished a half an hour early before everybody. And we were just like, my mom's like, I didn't speed at all. And we were like, no, she didn't. So my mom was one of those moms, and a young mom trying to stay hip, if that makes sense. But another way was, I mean, I have a 4-year-old daughter, and at this point, she still thinks I'm cool. So she thinks I'm the train driver at the zoo. My mom is awesome, and I can't wait for when she thinks that I'm cool. But I really liked that. I just liked that she tried to hide it from her mom because she was so embarrassed, and she did come out and say, like, the ship is embarrassing, you are embarrassing, our broken droid is embarrassing. And I get it, because we've all been there,
already see the
right?
future. I can already see it now. The train is embarrassing. Yeah. You are embarrassing. The parrot is embarrassing. Like, don't tell anyone. Oh my gosh. So I just can't wait for that. Did you guys notice that the young Twi'lek's name is Annie?
Yeah, I did notice that.
But
so that was kind of cool.
Why would they do that? Like, that's such a such a known name, Annie. But then she's like, at the end, she goes, well, I am your mother. And it was like, Annie, mother. I'm like, oh, it rhymes. It's like poetry.
But again, it's another cheeky reference like the Ahsoka stuff. Obviously, the Vader, famous Vader line, "I'm your father." So
Yeah,
there's
exactly. So
loads of little
fun.
references.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I liked the different
it,
view on all the different aliens and stuff too. Very cool.
yeah, definitely a unique style. But yeah, they pack lots of Easter eggs into these
Big time.
episodes, so it's kind of fun. Maybe we'll have to go back and deep dive of our favorites sometime. Moving on to the fifth episode, Journey to the Dark Head. This one was a little bit out there, I thought, a bit, but I think it showed. We're making these tie-ins. The council arrogance, just like in the
Yeah.
prequels.
Yeah.
That Jedi is like, this is ridiculous, and I have a theory that the Jedi are their own worst enemies, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about that later down the road. I think most of the trouble they cause themselves, but I think that this episode kind of dove into that a little bit. It's just with that one Jedi being kind of arrogant about, like, well, no, you're wrong. Luckily, there was a cooler head there in the other council member. And I thought it was weird, but I thought it was a really cool story. The balance, a lot of these show the balance in the Force. I'm sure it's going to cause more gray Jedi talk coming out, from the Sith episode to this episode where everything is perfectly balanced. But those dark heads, traveling up there, I thought it was kind of cool in the backstory with the Sith. I thought that was really fun.
It was another really good episode as well. I thought the battle sequences were brilliant. The animation was spot on. I think for me, this one was probably one of the best for character development as well from the start. They really didn't get on. And as the story progresses to the end of it, they pretty much realised that they needed each other, and through finding each other, it's actually helped both one another. Again, I'd love to see something to see where these two go.
Yeah. I thought it was. I really liked the backstory of this one. How he has these terrible nightmares and struggling so hard with the dark and the light, and I believe she is too, because she's on this mission to destroy something so sacred. And really, if you look at it, it's almost like the Force spoke to her, like, no, this is balance.
Yeah.
It's not just dark and light, it's both. And I think she realized it, and it helped him, I don't know his name, sorry, realize it too. And I do believe that that they each other. But the most fascinating part for me was where they document all of the future, past, and present. They're documenting it all. Where did all those documents go? All the stones? Like, because it doesn't look like they're doing that anymore, because it must be like at least 5 years down the road. But I thought the history that they're writing down and that they're discovering, reading off these rocks, was crazy cool. I thought that was super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Really neat. I like how they use the Force in different ways in this one, with it, like you said, with the opening scenes, just showing that the Force is not just for the Jedi. If you're into the High Republic at all, they're on Jeddah doing a lot of things, and it's like all these different religions. I'm not sure if it's tying into the real world with issues, but which we're not going to get into. But it's kind of neat to see how these different groups. And of course, if you're reading the Phase 2 stuff with the High Republic, there's big tie-ins with how people view the Force, and but yeah. So I think this is a really cool tie-in to that one. The next one, The Spy Dancer. Just seeing that title, I was like, huh? Like Spy Dancer. It starts out, and man, I tell you what, I was not expecting. I thought this was going to be my least favorite just from the title. But I was blown away by the story. The animation was really cool. And just how well, that's another thing too, is they have developed some of these characters in such a short amount of time. You get so attached so quick. you really feel for them.
Yeah.
This,
For me, I got some World War II French Resistance kind of
yes,
vibes, you know, almost like a cabaret, like a cabaret kind of thing happening. And then the twist at the end, which I'll let you guys talk about. This is a
you're
rewatchable one for
100%
me,
right. So
for sure.
with that, it's extremely clever because I believe it's from a French studio as well, and there's a famous spy from World
It's
War II
absolutely
called Josephine Baker, and essentially she was a theatre dancer in World War II in Paris, and she used to dance around all the German soldiers, gaining all the intel and then passing it on to the French resistance. So I thought that was super cool. If they got the inspiration from there, which I'd probably say they did, maybe, I don't know. And then to bring it into an animation like that, and put the twist that they did, super cool episode. Really, really good.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Question. So at the very end of the episode, spoilers again, when he takes his hat off, did he have scars?
Yeah, I think they removed a lot of the marks and that. Yeah.
And
I wondered about that too, Taylor, because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but they don't let aliens other than Thrawn do anything in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And so I wondered how they were going to do that. I mean, I think that you were right when he pulls off his hat. I kind of got supposed to like signify that yes, that is him, because at first you weren't sure. They had the one eye covered up because of the multi colored eyes, and so I think those were supposed to be scars from his horns being removed.
Yeah.
I didn't look close enough, and then I was trying to rewind, but it was already skipping to the next episode, and I just thought I'd ask you guys today.
Yeah. A really cool episode.
Yeah, I would be shocked if that was not the inspiration for
super
it.
Cool idea.
So cool. Yeah, because as a history teacher, I was like, immediately, like, we're just finishing up World War II in my world history class, and I'm like, I might have to show this.
I looked up Inglorious, the film, and straight away I was like, I'm sure there's a spy for the French resistance that actually did that. And Josephine Baker was her name.
Josephine Baker. I'm gonna have to look that up for my classes, because my kids, they don't go a class period without getting a Star Wars reference into my lessons or in my PowerPoints.
Yeah.
So
might
as well add. Yeah, just like smack them across the face with this one. Like, here you go, kids. They'll appreciate it when they get older. But episode 7, Bandits of Golak, I think it's pronounced, from 88 Pictures Studio. I'll let you guys start off because I have a ton to say about this one.
Yeah, really, really good. Animation was absolutely quality. Really good storyline. A lot of unexpected twists and turns. Some of my favourite parts about it were the twists and turns, but also the amount of different aliens as well on the train. That was fantastic.
So good.
Absolutely fantastic. Speeder bikes as well. The chase scene.
Like the rebel speeder bikes, right?
Yeah, it had quite a rebels feel to it as well. But yeah, lots of twists and turns. Just the aliens as well. Even when they got to their destination, again, the battle scene there, the twist and turn at the end. But it's good. It's good to see that the Jedi's again are all in hiding, and where they're hiding as well. And it's again, like I said right at the start of this, it's like they're orientated all of this towards children a lot. It's very dark again, very dark and grimy, like we said, Sith heavy. But the animation again, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I guess every episode does have kids in it. Hey,
every single one.
Every single one does.
Dark around the kids as well, so I think
quite
a little clever way of making it aimed towards the kids, but also with adults. But some of these I wouldn't let my kid watch without me.
Oh my goodness, that Screecher one was terrifying.
But yeah, what did you think then, Jimmy? What was your bits and bobs about the Bandits of Golak?
Again, the tie-ins are outstanding. First of all, and I said it earlier and I'll say it again, bringing all these different cultures into Star Wars, really making it for everyone, had this season. I mean, it blew me away. Just the different places, and of course, you have this when that Inquisitor shows up, and at first I'm like, oh, that guy's kind of they melt that that style into his
Yeah,
uniform.
cool. Yeah.
I was just like, this is incredible. And then you see the double bladed sword saber on his back, just like you would have seen in the Kenobi or playing Jedi Survivor or Fallen Order. I just thought that was nuts. The music for this one, the music for all of them is really, really good. This one was so unique with the styles that they brought into it. I would not be surprised if this one won some awards for music and sound, just because of how unique compared to the rest of them. And then just the Yoda-esque, I don't know what her name was, the lady that at the end kind of saves her. I'm going to go back and rewatch some of these later, but just how she, I kind of expected that was who was doing it, but then she shows up, she helps the kid, and then when she moves the water, I was like, oh my goodness. And they talk about kind of like the path, there's these tie-ins with Kenobi, with they're just doing, I don't know how much they know about what's going on in Star Wars, these studios. I'm assuming that someone knows something about Star Wars that's making these, but there's some tie-ins that I wonder if they are meant to be, if it just happens to be kind of flow with it. But I just thought the hidden path.
I think you're right, mate. And as well, the tie-ins. Again, you mentioned Screech's the Screech's episode. So we're seeing what we think, or I thought, was a Sith taking away a child, and now again we're seeing a Jedi take a child, and the two different aspects where. Really, in the Screech's one, going back to that, she didn't really get to say goodbye, but she knew it was going to happen. Whereas in this one, now she had a chance to say goodbye, last little hug and whatever. Two different perspectives. And yeah, when the old lady pulled out the cane, I was screaming.
Oh,
I want that walking stick to be a lightsaber. But when she pulled it and it was two lightsabers, oh my days!
I was getting Cal Kestis and Survivor vibes from her. Man, she busts it. I like, she's moving real slow, kind of Yoda Attack of the Clones style, and then just when it was time to turn it on, she, Terra Sinube-esque, just only go as fast as you need to go, and then when it's time, unleash. And she could go. Yeah, so that was that episode, that one, and the Sith one. There's so many that are so. I will rewatch a lot of these episodes. I think I can't say that I've really gone back to season one other than Ronin. I loved Ronin. It was my big favorite, and the rest of them were good. Number 8, The Pit.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. So you love this one? Because animation was cool. Nothing. Maybe I'm missing something. Hopefully, you'll shed some light on it for us. But it
was just dark.
I just didn't get anything out of this one.
It was so dark.
Pretty messed up.
I was expecting the old mine down there for like carbon crystals. Happy with that, relating it all again to like Rogue One or whatever, with the carbon crystals being harvested. The guy then climbing up there, thought fantastic. Happy days. Then it started talking. No one was helping him. Then he got the attention of the public. It just shows the Empire then crushing rebellion straight away. But I was not expecting what they did with him to happen. When that happened, I was like, wow.
They took that to another level, I thought.
Yeah, well, sub-level.
Yeah.
But I was not expecting that. I get what you're saying. It did feel a little bit like it was lacking, I think, with a bit of the story. But I think it just goes to show that we're relentless of the Empire, and once they've got what they need, they're not bothered. They're gone.
Well, they just left those people to their own, and I kind of got, again, history teacher, the World War II, Holocaust, nothing's happening here, propaganda, we're just moving these people for their own good, and don't pay no attention. But yeah, I liked it, but it's, as far as, I don't know, there's just something was off about it for me.
I was surprised it didn't last,
I wasn't really pulled into it.
And then when the city showed up, at the end there. Again, I was expecting them to get blasted. I thought it was going to be a big, but nothing. No, they just went. They just left.
No, it was. Yeah, it was. It's probably the simplest story. I mean, it's very, very dark, but very kind of simple. So, but again, upon rewatch, when I see some more, I thought maybe I was missing something. Again, don't know a lot. I might have missed something in the background, but yeah. And then I think it's Au's song. I think that's how they pronounced it. And this animation style by Studio Triggerfish. I'm not sure what kind of aliens. They almost look like bear-esque aliens with some crazy hair. Just again, a kid. The main focus was a child in this one, and the animation. I thought that was a highlight of this episode for me, and how they kind of tied in the backstory. This was the only one I think that had like a scroll, kind of, Star Wars scroll, where it came up with the little bit of the history of it all. But you go through the whole thing, and it kind of reminded me, the dad kind of reminded me of the Jedi Council, where he doesn't give this kid a chance, or he thinks he knows the answer, and just kind of locks his kid up. Like the kid's not even allowed to talk because of her voice, and the effect it has, what they think it's having on the Kyber crystals. And then as it starts to play out, you kind of see, well, okay, something's different. I was not surprised that lady was a Jedi that jumps in there, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then, of course, you have it ending very similar to a lot of the other ones, where you have a kid being taken off.
Yeah.
And it kind of flies into the young Anakin, how he was too old to be trained. All of these kids being pulled off when they already have attachments to their parents or their friends. So I wonder, I'd love to get some sequels of these stories. Visions, I would be down for a Visions 2.1 season. Just let's see where they're at, see what they're going to do with them. I know that's not the point. The point is just to tell fun little stories that you can watch. But
diversity.
I do think that that's a big compliment to all of these studios and the people at Lucasfilm who were doing this. They really pulled, and all 9 episodes, for the most part, I want to see what's happening. And I can honestly say that in season 1, I didn't have that same connection. There was a few here and there I wanted to see. I thought, but so I overall, I thought season 2 was, you talk about our overall impressions. For me, season 2, I was excited for, because I enjoyed season 1, but I absolutely love this season. This will be something I'll throw on the background when I'm grading papers and stuff like that. But what about you guys? What did you think comparing it to season 1, season 2?
I liked this season a lot better. I mean, Ronan is still my favorite one. I think
that one so many
good times. I really want to get the book now, because I want to know. It's like I'm not usually into that kind of style of stuff, but because it's Star Wars and it's just so different, it's a new point of view. Oh my gosh, I would love to watch that one again. But this season 2, I've liked a lot better. And I'm not sure if it's because it's more of connected to children and stuff, or what, but this season's doing it for me, and I think they're learning and they're getting better at giving the fans what they want, and that's awesome, because they're hearing us. They're hearing us, guys. Get out there, say what you need to say.
There's a lot more connections, I think, with this. Like I say, it's very family orientated. Lots of use of children and going from light to hope. I did like season 1. I thought the Elder was one of my favourite ones. But
that one was good too.
I think with season 1, that there's a lot of times the endings were done and dusted, whereas season 2, there's a lot of what if, what's going to happen next. But I thought a lot more connections. There's loads of Easter eggs as well. I love how it all connects to one big universe. That's all the big thing.
That's what I love about
Yeah,
Star Wars.
I think these ones are very much more rewatchable, and I think there's as you do it, I think that maybe we revisit these in a few months, and I bet you we will find so many different things that we didn't even
Yeah.
realize. And I've watched a couple of them twice, but I still think that there's a lot to unpack with these. What is your favorite one? And 1 through 9, which one did you guys? Which one pulled? Now we talked about it. I'm a little shaky because I was real clear, like,
Yeah.
oh, this is my favorite one. But now that you guys have given all your viewpoints, and that's what I think love it about talking with you guys is, you guys we see things from a different point of view. See what I did there, and I just think this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this podcast with you guys is just because of all of our different experiences. Because you guys shed some light on these that I didn't see, and now I'm like, favorite episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you guys answer first, and then I'll come back to myself because now I don't know.
My favorite one, I think Screecher's Reach got me. It was the most captivating one. It was over so fast, just because I didn't take my eyes off of it once. But I did like the I Am Your Mother one. Felt like I could connect a lot with that one.
Very good, yeah, I imagine.
For me,
Ja-
Screecher's Reach again was really good. I think for me, it's going to be I Am Your Mother. The amount of ships for me.
Yeah.
Not at all, actually. No, I think it's I Am Your Mother as well. I like Dennis Lawson coming back. I like his little cameo appearance. I like all the different types of shit. I thought it was super funny. Lots of hidden little Easter eggs. But the Wookiee with the teddy bear did it for me.
Oh, the Wookiee was
With the teddy
pulling
bear.
off the arm.
Yeah, I thought that was absolutely brilliant.
You know what? I did.
Oh yeah.
There was a bra in that I Am Your Mother
Yeah,
episode.
when they clean up the laundry.
Bras in Star Wars.
Yeah. Because I think they pretty much live out the ship, doesn't she, with her mum?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah. Now I'm kind of torn after listening to you guys talk, but I'm still going to stick with Sith. That one, the animation, the connection with the art, the action that was in it. E2 has quickly moved up as far as droids. I love my dogs, so when a droid is that just like a little puppy, but with a blaster for an eye, so I'm gonna stick with Sith for now. Maybe it'll change, but I do think that one, and that's 2 for 2. Both the starting episodes from both seasons have been my favorite. My next question for you guys is, now that you have a favorite and you've seen these, now we've gotten 18 episodes of animation. Would you guys want to see any from season 1 or 2? Would you want to see any full-length features of these characters? Is that something you'd be down for?
Yeah, 100%. Especially Ronin stuff all day long. I'll eat that up. I think that's probably about it really for season 1 for me. Season 2, Screecher's Reach and A Journey to the Dark Ahead. I think they should carry that on, and I'd love for the 2 kids in that, or the Padawan, if you like, and the young girl to meet and have a battle. I think that'd be fantastic.
Oh,
that would be pretty cool.
I mean, obviously, I'd love to see more of the Ronin from season 1. But I would definitely watch. I already said I'm not huge into anime, but I would definitely watch the Journey to the Head. Was it? Yeah, the Dark. I would watch a film of that. It kind of, I don't know. It kind of also reminded me of Pokemon, and I did watch Pokemon when I was younger, so I guess I do have a bit of anime background. I said before, I lied. But I would definitely watch a full-length film of this because I just loved how there was so much history and that they're going forward, and I loved it.
Yeah, I would definitely. I think we're 3 for 3 with a Ronin movie, or almost like a Samurai Jack type of, just crazy adventure. But I would definitely be down for that. I don't think it needs to be tied into the canon. It can stay. I mean, the universe is massive. They can have different things going on. And then, of course, Sith. I'd like to either the lead up into it or what she does afterwards. I would love to see, what made her run. I mean, obviously we know what made her run, but what she does with it afterwards, if she's going to go through the universe helping people, there are more Sith chasing her. But yeah, I think that they've. I would be down for most of these, especially animation styles in season 2. I could probably watch a full length movie in any of those, and most of the stories I thought were just crazy. So I would love to see the backgrounds of some of these characters.
I think
but,
overall,
very cool. Well, it sounds like
favorite character for me is the droid out the first episode.
E2.
He stole the season for me.
I liked from the spy dancer. I liked the mom or the main dancer. I liked her. She has a lot of passion, emotion, and she said, "This is the only way I can be free." So she was thinking that was the man that took her child, and you never know what happens. He could have been a stormtrooper. They could have taken him into slavery, put him on a planet. They could have sold him as a slave, like a week after they stole him, right? Even though he's a baby. But so she has no idea, but she was put herself at ease and more at peace knowing that he was still alive, and that she's contacted him, and now she's tracking him and he can contact her. So just seeing her emotions through that episode made me I really appreciated her and her strength to be able to carry on and do this for the galaxy.
Yeah, that twist with it not being the guy that took the baby, I was like, whoa! My wife was watching. She's like, oh my goodness! She kind of jumped out of So yeah, that was awesome. I loved it all, so I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited for hopefully we'll go to season 3. I'm sure we will after this. So I think we can talk about a little bit too. I know we're running about an hour now at length, but Jedi Survivor. We just want to do some takes. Taylor, have you played Survivor yet? Have you had an opportunity? Did you play Fallen Order?
I played Fallen Order 5 times.
Oh wow!
But no, I have not played Jedi Survivor yet. But at this point at this point in all of the spoilers and stuff that I haven't really seen yet, I'm thinking on Thursday I'm probably going to accidentally smash the PlayStation 4 on the floor so that payday Friday we have to get the PS5. So that may happen. Fair warning.
Yeah, I sold my Xbox and PS4 to get a PlayStation 5 just for this game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was the only reason I got rid of all that stuff. Now I have a PS5. But Jack, what are your thoughts? I know you're not quite as far as I am, I think, but you have done more
so
on that first. Yeah, it sounds like it. So what are your overall, Fallen Order versus Survivor?
So
what are your
kicking
thoughts?
it off. So I've got it for the PC. The download size was huge. Waiting for it to come out was killing me. So again, I think I had to wait nearly 24 hours just to download everything. But yeah, kicking straight onto Coruscant. Love that. I started to get Fallen Order vibes. And I got the vibe that it was just saying this is where we started and finished on the last game. So wait till you see where we're going from here. Got straight onto Kobo, and I've spent about, I think, 5 hours just on Kobo alone. I've not even left that place yet. I've only just discovered well, let somebody out. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've just been running around killing like rancors, giant frogs, giant like a rhino thing. Just running around killing stuff. I managed to get like 6 stims at the minute because I've unlocked like secret passages. I see a thing on a map and see like the yellow gate when it's like unexplored area, and I'm like, right, I'm gonna have to go and see what that is.
Can't help
Got
yourself.
it.
I'm literally like, I can't go anywhere. Like my whole map's, I think, nearly 100% already.
Awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, like my Cal is crazy powerful as well. So when I'm going up on the story mode, I'm just like chopping people in half. It's unreal. Big fan of the dual saber stuff. Love dual sabers, especially the Viper stuff.
What color is your saber?
So
if you don't mind me asking.
I did go purple.
Ooh.
I'm a big fan of the Mace Windu.
Yeah.
I keep looking at white
Right.
now, but yeah, no, I do really like the purple.
You can in the new game.
Yeah, change it to whatever color you want. Yeah.
Oh,
I've been running around with a yellow
Nice.
lightsaber. I've looked up the meanings behind the sabers, and I like what yellow stands
Yeah,
for.
healing and that, yeah.
And then the customization for your
Brilliant, isn't it?
saber is just
The amount.
insane. You could spend 5 hours just building your
So
lightsabers. They let you do so
mate,
much.
the customization is fantastic. The saloon, I think I brought nearly all the products already with all the minerals I found on Kobo alone. And I love. I want to say Scuba Steve. I love that. I love that. But the saloon, yeah, I've unlocked loads of people at saloon already. My gardening, you can garden on it, Taylor, so you'll love that. My garden's absolutely packed with plants on top. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away. I think probably at some point we should do like a quick episode on Survivor if we get a chance in the week, just like top tips and stuff like that. Because there's a giant frog. Ask Jimmy. Oh my gosh, I must have spent 3 hours, literally 3 hours, trying to kill one frog, and in the end,
is it just like the ones from Fallen Order?
Yeah, it's one of them.
It's very similar to it.
Spawn avocado, or something, which is the name of the actual frog in Fallen Order.
Yeah.
But yeah, I won't spoil too much. But I found a really cheeky way to beat him. Really good cheeky way.
I have had my battle with a Rancor on that first. I guess it's the second planet, and man, that thing. I'm not a very patient player, and you have to really be a good Jedi when you're fighting that thing. So I've learned patience through that battle about 75 times, and I don't move on. I'm not gonna, and I don't want to change the difficulty level because I'm like, I don't want to feel like a quitter. So, but yeah, I think overall, I was a little worried because you start out with your powers, like where's the story going to go, and then you're on Coruscant, and it's almost exactly like the first game. I do like how they've integrated the weeds and climbing. It seems like it's more integrated into the background. It's a little bit harder, I think, because you don't see it as blatantly. But yeah, this game, I cannot wait for school to be out so I can just dive into this.
There's a Rancor on the first planet on Kobo, you know.
Yeah, that's the one I've been getting my.
Did you throw the bone into his mouth?
Yeah. No, I didn't know I could do that.
You can pick up the bones. So you know Return of the Jedi when Luke puts the bone in his mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that and it does it. It's another Easter egg.
That's
so
I'm going to have to go back and fight him again.
That's how I kept killing him. Because when he comes towards you, I just kept sending these bones in his mouth and while he's like trying to gnaw down on it, I was underneath him, hammering him. I killed that Rancor in the first turn. No messed about.
Oh, see, that's what, with the frog, there's something you could do with the rocks. You can throw rocks at it. I didn't see the option. I didn't see that you could grab, because that's what I kept running around trying to grab the rocks and throw at the Rancor, and there was nothing I could grab. So now I want to fight another Rancor.
Yeah, you might get your chance.
So I hope so. I'm sure I will. I do love the fact that they're bringing a lot of these creatures. They don't call them Wampas, but you get to fight a jungle version, which if I was a jungle Wampa with all that hair, I'd be pretty angry too.
And you slice off its arm and it goes crazy mad. Rich.
Yeah, it gets real angry.
But I think we should definitely do an episode in the week, Jimmy, with the Survivor stuff.
Yeah. We can help Taylor out, give her all where we've gone wrong, Taylor. We can set you on the right path.
Okay.
So, but,
does it seem pretty hard? Like if I played on just Jedi,
I'm not on Jedi. I'm on. What's
easier next?
I'm on the one just below Jedi Master. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah,
I think that's Jedi. That's like the normal version.
I might be that then.
Yeah, I think I just play on Jedi. So
that's what I've been playing on. I don't play a lot of video games.
I'm not
Fallen Order, Last of Us.
I play Us too.
I'm more of a campaign kind of player. Story. I really get pulled into that. The original God of War stuff. But yeah, I think that I've been kind of, I don't know about you, Jack. I've kind of wanted to play on story mode just so I could get the story out of the way. But I also feel like, I don't know, I feel like I'm kind of cheating. But trying to stay
Yeah.
away from spoilers.
I'm exactly the same, mate. But I didn't want to just blitz through it. I just thought I wanted a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
that frog drove me to the edge yesterday.
Well, there's these people that have finished the game already, and like, I'm sorry, but how much fun are you having if you're literally just like
stuff about
going nuts on it? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be able. If it was me, I would not be able to retain that story, and then I can't enjoy it. You know.
Yeah.
But like Jack said, I like to explore. When I play the Skywalker Lego Saga, I walk the entire Naboo map. Like, I've walked the whole thing, and I look at everything, and because I think it's all beautiful because it's all incorporated in, and the new game looks amazing. It looks beautiful, right? So I'm gonna play it very slow when I do get it, and I mean, I haven't really seen any spoilers yet. I know that there's somebody from the High Republic coming just because I've seen it in the trailer.
Oh,
You have no
So
idea.
I don't know who,
oh my.
and I can't even think of who it is. I don't even like. Is it?
Well, it's not. There's someone they've brought in a new character. That I don't want to say too much because it's just
like a one-all army.
Is it?
yeah.
Can you say if it's like a phase 1 or a phase 2 character? Like,
I have not run into this character.
You've got to have done. The books.
yeah.
I've read the books, the comics. I don't know if I've run into this character yet. There's so many.
There's so much.
There's just so many Jedi. I think that's why these kind of slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
So much going on.
Okay.
And that's not even.
So, if any of our listeners don't read the High Republic books, will they be left out of this story?
No, they may not. If they don't know what the High Republic is, it may not be as like. I mean, I'm about dropped my controller when I started.
Yeah, no,
when it got revealed to what it was, but you don't have to.
The story's good enough to follow that.
No.
Anyway.
Good.
Yeah, 100%. But then there was some other stuff, man. You get to another planet, and someone. I don't want to say anymore. It just. Yeah, Taylor, you need to break your PS4 and start playing because we need to unpack this together.
We'll do an episode on this. We've got to.
Guys, hope you guys enjoyed this. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot more. I think we'll unpack Visions 2. We'll probably dive into some episodes. I think some of those episodes we could probably talk it for an hour about themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, as we get further into Survivor, and Commander Taylor has her accident with the PS4, and she starts playing. We'll come back to that and we'll unpack that. Maybe Jack and I will come in and talk a little bit about it while we're waiting. But I just think great episode. I hope everyone has amazing Star Wars adventures this week. We're excited. I'm excited to hear about your Force encounters next week. Anyone out there who is listening, besides my mother, if you want to drop us a line, tell us what your Force encounters were. We'll read them out for you. So
definitely.
Anyone?
Let us know your Visions experience as well. What your favorite episode was. What you'd like to see next. Your favorite characters.
Yeah, the reason we started this podcast so that we could talk to Star Wars fans around the world. We want to hear from you.
Yep.
For light and life.
It takes strength to resist the dark side. Only the weak embrace it.
Ooh. Wow. And for the rest of us, we have spoken.
See you next week.
Bye.